show, I talked about Josh McDaniels, guys. And again, I said everything backwards and incorrectly. I talked about all his flaws and the mistakes he made before I talked about why I'm excited for him. Please forgive me. I did that on the last video. You can watch a segment on this channel. Search our videos. I said I wrote a clickbait title because I have to. I've been doing clickbait because I'm trying to bring subscribers and people back to this channel. That's why I'm really on the segmented shows. I'm pushing the clickbait. I don't care if you don't like it, as long as you click. I do talk about the subject that I put in the thumbnails or in the clickbait. I do talk about it, so it's not a lie. But I need to speak more eloquently and better when I talk about subjects. But a lot of people hated on me, thought I was hating on McDaniels. I'm not. I need to show my position better. I was pointing out his mistakes and his flaws and how he's changing them for his current strategy with the Raiders. I could have done a better job at that, so forgive me. So let's continually talking about. I talked about his game plan or his strategy in free agency was being veterans. You get it? He was picking up veterans in free agency. And then he immediately signed Max Crosby and stuff like that. But his strategy wasn't truly known until the Davante Adams signing. That was the moment Josh McDaniels completely put his entire strategy all together. And it's one of all-in. It's an all-in strategy. That's what the Rams have been doing for the last couple years. That we watch it. We're like, how the hell did they sign that player? How the hell did they come up with that much money to sign that player? How the heck did they trade their draft picks to get that player? They keep doing it and doing it the last 3 or 4 years for the Rams. I don't know if it's working 1,000%, but they just got finished winning the Super Bowl. And they've won 2, or they've been to 2 in the last 5 years. So that strategy of going all in, wasting money, giving away draft picks, blah, 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 is working for the Rams in their new stadium. That's what they needed when they got their new stadium. And Josh McDaniels is diverting from the New England Patriots strategy. He is not doing that strategy. They draft, they don't pay players a lot, and they don't go all in. And they still win because they're a great all-around organization. But the Raiders, let's be honest, for many years, we're not the best organization. Our strategy with almost every coaching staff has changed every 2 or 3 years. It doesn't work. And I, for the most part, on many occasions, when I find out a player wants to be traded from a team, like a Jalen Ramsey or a this or a that or an Odell Beckham or whoever, you name it, I start going, why the hell does the Raiders not do anything they can to pick up that player of need? I don't care about draft picks or first-round draft picks. Unless we have 5 of them. I don't care. Go all in. We've won 6 games, 7 games already. We need a cornerback. Or we need a wide receiver or whatever. And they don't do it. Or maybe they pursue, but not enough. And then the Rams pick up that player. Or the whoever else picks up that player. And then they go on to the playoffs with that player and possibly win playoff games or Super Bowls or whatever. While the Raiders sit there, oh, we missed the playoffs. Oh, if we only had a cornerback, if we only had defense, if we only had a leader on defense, if we only had a better coach, if we only had a better strategy. That's why I'm loving Josh McDaniels. I've hated most coaches that the Raiders have hired. I wasn't sure about Dennis Allen. He was too green. I enjoyed having I can't think of his name. My brain fogs sometimes. The linebacker coach, Jack Del Rio. I enjoyed that because he was a Raider legacy, and I like what he did with the team. I did not like Gruden coming back. And you could see the strategy from all of these coaches on building the Raiders roster whenever they were hired. Dennis Allen, he didn't know what he was doing. He took over a really bad team with Rolando McClain, this and that, and he tried to pick up some free agents, veterans, some rookies in the draft. He didn't trade no players. He didn't go out on a limb and do anything big. He didn't want to rock the boat. The players didn't respect him. Jack Del Rio came in, demanded respect because he was a veteran, been in the league many years, knew what he was doing, so they listened to him. But then, I don't want to get political with all the Colin Kaepernick, the Trump, the being woke stuff happened. Whether they voted for Trump, they didn't, whether they're racist or not, like the Washington game, all that happened. The team lost respect, half the team lost respect for Derek Carr and or Jack Del Rio, so a change was necessary. But his strategy brought us to the playoffs after like 20 years. So it was a decent strategy, whatever he was doing, until it all blew up in our faces with political commentary when politics entered the NFL. Then we got John Gruden, the guy that can never make a decision, that was drummed out of the NFL in Tampa Bay. He needs to take over a winning team most of the time for him to build a winning team. I mean, he did it with the Raiders from 99 to 2000 to 2001, and I credit him for that. But his attitude in the NFL was not working. It just was not working. Then when he came back to the Raiders, Mark Davis gave him carte blanche. It's your team, 10 years, $100 million. I've been waiting for you, Gruden. I asked you to do the water bucket challenge, and I bought you hot wings every month. 10 years, $100 million, Gruden. Gruden knew the team was his. Gruden needed to get rid of contracts, needed to make fall guys, so he kept Reggie McKenzie on the first year, blah, blah, blah. We all know the damn story. But his strategy was to rebuild the team. Got rid of Khalil Mack, got all these draft picks, blah, blah, blah. His strategy was to completely gut the team with the Gruden purge and rebuild it. It didn't work. They're not good enough evaluators, him or Mike Mayock, or they're not good enough draft pickers or free agent pickups or whatever. It failed. He got canceled. So now we got Josh McDaniels. All these strategies do not work so far, being shown by Gruden and everybody. But with the Rams and a couple of other teams, they go all in. They're at least consistently making the playoffs. Josh McDaniels came to this team. What strategy should I do? I could do the Patriots strategy, but I want to make this team my own, like a shade of me. I could do the rebuild like Gruden, but that'll be a third or fourth rebuild in the Raiders' past 7 years. Do I want to do that? No, I like Derek Carr. I think he's a decent quarterback. I'm going to watch him a little bit. I want to see what he can do. I'm going to give him a 3-year extension as opposed to a big deal. I'm not going to guarantee all his money, but I like Derek Carr. I'm pretty sure we could work together. I taught Matt McGloin or whoever their quarterback in the Patriots are, whatever that quarterback they drafted is. So he's a quarterback guy. I could work with Derek Carr. They made the playoffs with a secondary coach, Rich Bisaccia. Congratulations. He is now with the Green Bay Packers. Congratulations, Rich Bisaccia, the new special teams coordinator with the Packers. Appreciate it. You deserve it. Good luck. But Josh McDaniels figured out the Raiders made the playoffs with a gut-wrench team of losing the number one wide receiver, per se, in Henry Ruggs. You know, they lost their coach. They lost, cornerbacks, draft picks haven't panned out. And they still made the playoffs. and competed with the damn Bengals who went to the Super Bowl and almost won. The AFC champs. Josh McDaniels realized that and said, I don't need to gut the team. This team is good. I need to build upon the players that are here. The players that are family, that love each other, that are working, getting the job done. And that's what he did. By trading his picks to get Devontae Adams, to help Derek Carr out, to replenish our roster, bring us a franchise wide receiver, all of the Gruden years. That's why Gruden succeeded in his first couple years. Because he did this strategy. He went out and got Jerry Rice. He had a veteran, Tim Brown. He went out and got Jerry Rice. He went out and got Rich Gannon. He got Pro Bowlers on the offensive line. Blah, 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 blah. Gruden went all in when he took over the Raiders in 98 or 99. And that's what Josh McDaniels is doing. He's going all in. He's only getting veterans in free agency, for the most part. Veterans of at least 2 to 3 years or more with upside on good contracts. Not too expensive. He traded away our draft picks. Who cares? To get arguably one of the top 3 best wide receivers in the NFL. If not the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. For Derek Carr. He gave Derek Carr a contract extension to please him a little bit. They all worked it out. Team-friendly deal. They can sign more players in the future. Max Crosby got an extension. Blah, 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 blah. They're going all in. Now that brings me to the next question. I believe that there's one more move that Josh McDaniels needs to make with the all-in strategy. There's one more move to build this team to win now and this year. Again, it's going to be tough in the AFC West. Let's get that right. It's going to be tough. But with this all-in strategy, there's one move left for Josh McDaniels to do. And I don't know if he'll do it. I want to know if you guys think he should do it. But here's that move. We only have about 4 or 5 picks in this year's draft, starting with the 3rd round. There's a few good offensive linemen in this year's draft. I think Josh McDaniels might want to trade a future first-round pick, and or a player. I don't think he's going to trade any player. But I think he needs to move up into the 2nd or 1st round this year and pick up one of these top 5 offensive linemen in this year's draft. But they are saying this is a very top-heavy offensive lineman draft. I don't care if we give up a first-rounder next year. But if they're looking at a quarterback next year, they're going to want that first-round pick. I don't know. Depending on the player that they covet in this year's draft, if he's a first-round player, a second-round player, we're going to find out if he's going to give up future draft picks to get that player and go all in to at least get a first or second rounder in this year's draft, regardless of future picks. I hope he does it. That would 100,000% prove he's in the all-in strategy. They're getting an offensive lineman for Derek Carr, or they're going all in to get a starting cornerback or a interior defensive lineman, or whoever else the Raiders have at need. I don't care about the 2023 draft. With this all-in strategy, we can give them some of those picks and get a coveted player for this year. And we can build an actual dynasty of at least 3 or 4 playoff appearances in a row, hopefully an AFC championship, hopefully a Super Bowl. and I stood by it years ago when I said it, the Raiders will win a Super Bowl before 2025. I've said it, I'm predicting it, and I'm saying it. So the question is, will the strategy work? Yes, it will. It has been proven by other teams. The strategy will work unless a lot of bad happens with injuries and whatever. Knock on wood. It will work. It already is working. And we're all excited. I'm very appreciative of Josh McDaniels coming to this Raiders team. Very, very happy. Very, very happy. All right, guys, let's go to some fan phone calls, and then we're going to